In the wake of growing political tensions, universities across the country, most recently the University of Minnesota, have adopted institutional neutrality policies, barring official statements on contentious public issues. Advocates argue that this protects academic institutions from being co-opted politically, preserving their role as centers of learning rather than activism. Critics counter that these policies amount to enforced silence, stripping universities of their moral responsibility to engage with pressing societal concerns. But both sides miss the real question: should speech be centralized under administrative control, or should universities embrace a decentralized model where all academic units and student organizations freely express their perspectives? The problem with universities making official statements isn't that they speak. It's that they often speak as singular authoritative voices presenting complex academic theories as settled truths. This alienates the public and fuels accusations of ideological bias. However, enforced neutrality isn't the solution. Silencing institutions at the administrative level doesn't depoliticize them. It merely shifts control over speech from decentralized academic communities to top-level bureaucrats. Rather than eliminating bias, neutrality policies consolidate power, determining which topics are deemed mission-relevant enough to merit discussion. History warns us of the dangers of both extremes. In the 1960s, universities that sought neutrality on civil rights often ended up on the wrong side of history. At Berkeley, administrators' attempts to silence student activists sparked the free speech movement, proving that enforced neutrality only breeds more conflict. In contrast, the 1980s anti-apartheid movement flourished on campuses because institutions allowed student groups and faculty to lead decentralized debates rather than issuing monolithic proclamations. The lesson is clear: universities function best as ecosystems of debate, not as singular voices or silent institutions. The American founding principle of free speech and assembly was built on this same pluralistic model. The Founding Fathers did not seek a single, official voice to dictate public truth. Instead, they created a democratic structure where ideas could compete openly. Universities should follow this example. Instead of either mandating silence or issuing top-down decrees, they should empower departments, faculty associations, and student organizations to democratically articulate their own positions. True neutrality doesn't mean speechlessness. It means ensuring that all arguments have space to be heard. This shift in framing changes the debate entirely. Instead of asking whether universities should speak, we should be asking who should decide what gets said. A university's role is not to be a moral authority or a passive observer. It is to be a facilitator of open intellectual exchange. By decentralizing speech and allowing individual academic units to express themselves independently, universities can foster a genuine marketplace of ideas without imposing orthodoxy or retreating into silence. If universities want to reclaim public trust, they must abandon both the impulse to dictate truth and the instinct to hide from controversy. Instead of exiting the public square, they should embrace a new model, one that is pluralistic, decentralized, and committed to free inquiry. The future of academic freedom, and perhaps democracy itself, depends on it.